What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Perspective. I am your girl, Agent McMillan. In this video, we are going to talk about the importance of college. Is it important? Is it useful? Should you go to college? Should you not go to college? Um, there are so many perspectives. There are so many takes on just college, education, formal versus informal. There's so many different takes on it. So we're going to touch on that a little bit. But first, before we get into things, I need you to do a few things for me. I need you to hit the like button. I need you to subscribe to the channel. And I need you to share this video with one, two, maybe three friends, family members, three people that you know who may be on the fence about school, parents that may be on the fence about telling their kids, sending their kids to school, or maybe their kids are like, I don't want to go to school. I want to be a YouTuber. So share this video with three people, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more of the perspective. All right. So let's get into it. So school. I have two takes on education, right? A few takes on education, but mainly you see what I'm wearing. Hoya Satsa, go Hoyas. I am currently in graduate school. I am getting my graduate degree, my master's in sports industry management, master's of professional studies from Georgetown University. So that means that I am pro school, go to school, make sure you get your degree, get your undergrad, go to grad, get your master's, get a PhD if you want, right? Yeah, I am. But I'm also very empathetic and I understand that school is not for everyone because I was at a point in my life where I thought school was not for me. But it was because I was doing things that I really didn't like doing. And there's just a whole bunch of stuff that we may get into here today. But school isn't for everyone. School is not for everyone. I think a lot of times parents like to, especially if you are, your parents of the older generation, it was all about school. You got to get that degree. You got to get that piece of paper. You really aren't going to be seen in society as someone of value, right? Excuse me. You're not going to be seen in society as someone of value. And I think nowadays it's really shifted, like the perspective on having a college education or having a higher level of education has really shifted because there's so many different, types of educations that a type of education that you can achieve, right? You can go to YouTube University and figure things out for yourself. You can be a do-it-yourselfer, right? You can achieve a great level of success not going to an institute of higher learning, right? So let me give you guys a little bit of my backstory. So I graduated from high school in 2008, a long time ago. I graduated from high school in 2008. I was an exceptional student in high school, above average, A's, B's, a few classes here and there where, of course, you're in that phase, you're in high school, you are going through puberty, you're doing what everyone else is doing type of thing. So I could have gotten much, much better grades in high school than I did, but I was an excellent, student above 3.0, honor graduate, all of that, played sports, all of that. Um, so in 2008, graduated from high school, my goal was to be a sports physician. So I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. I wanted to be a team physician. Like I wanted to work for a NBA team as a team physician. And this isn't to fault for my parents or my mom or anybody, but my mom is has her degree. She went to school, she went to USF, she's a graduate of USF. But it was just different times, right? So she wasn't really aware of how things had evolved as much as they had when I went to school. And she wasn't really aware of how things go. But at the same time, I think her unawareness of how things have changed when it came to going off to college and things of that nature was of value for me because it let me learn and it helped me to understand things for myself, right? Kind of like learning the hard way. So I went off to school, went off to USF, and I was not prepared. I'm gonna be straightforward with you. I did well. I went to like a summer program, did really well. Um, but when it came to like getting, I don't know, it was just maybe like a shift in my head where it was like, yo, I got a lot of independence now. Not in high school, I'm not being regulated by my mom, not being regulated by my parents or my grandparents. I can do what I want type thing. And it was just like a too much freedom at once. Now I will say that I should have probably gone to community college first or gone to community college and got my degree. But of course, I wanted to take the big route. I wanted to go away to school. I didn't want to stay home and feel trapped, so to speak. Um, and just that typical teenage mindset, right? And I say all of this to say I went to USF and I ended up literally almost flunking out of school. Going from someone who was a great student in high school, great in my academics pretty much all my life, very, very smart person, not to toot my own horn, but well above average when it comes to intellect. Um, but going off to college, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for college. Um, and I feel like instead of my mom forcing me to go to community college or pushing community college more, she really put me out there and let me learn for myself. And it was a great learning opportunity. But college isn't for everyone. Community college isn't for everyone. Going out and going away to college isn't for everyone. And you kind of have to understand that and choose your battles, really, choose your battles. Because you can go off to college and you can be great and you can succeed and you can live a long life doing what it is that you love, but you can also do the same thing without going to college and without a formal education. Um, and I went to college, I almost flunked out, came back home, um, like shifted my major 2 or 3 times because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think it really takes somebody that's really self-aware, and you have to sometimes develop that self-awareness to understand what it is that you want to do, what it is that you're not good at, what it is that you're good at, and what it is that you are happy doing, what it is that you love doing. Because a lot of times you can get stuck into wanting to please other people or stuck into what you think is a good career or what you think is a good degree choice or a good major or something that everyone else is doing, right? And you like, oh, okay, I can do that too. Yeah, you can, but should you? Just because you can go to college, just because you can succeed at something doesn't mean that you should be doing it, right? And that goes back to something that I've really been honing in on the last few weeks is your purpose. You have to understand your purpose. And understanding your purpose doesn't happen overnight. Some people get it like that. Some people have it innately and instinctly, and some people it has to be developed, and they have to develop that self-awareness and develop that that just nurturing of their purpose. Develop into nurturing their purpose and understanding their purpose. So fast forward 2016, right? Um, I've been staying at home with my mom, taking care of my grandparent, my grandfather, my grandparents, and my mom taking care of him. He was staying with us at the time, so my mom was going off and doing what she had to do. And she was doing what she had to do during the day, but you know, I stayed there. I made sure my grandfather was fed, make sure he was good, make sure I took him to his doctor appointments, also take my mom to her doctor's appointments. I'm really blown out right now. So there we go. Making sure that everyone was good, right? And then it just hit me like I got to a point where I was tired of just sitting around, sitting at home. So I'm like, okay, something's got to be done. So I'm like on the internet searching for things to do. Tired of playing video games all day. Um, and I found Full Sail University. And Full Sail University literally changed my life. Um, it changed my perspective on school. It changed my perspective on what I wanted out of life and what I wanted to do. They had they have a sports marketing and media program. And I've kind of figured out that I was just gonna give it a shot. Like I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna go to this program, and I'm gonna give it a shot and see what it's like, just to say that I got my degree. right? But I fell in love with it. And that's not for everybody. You can learn marketing, you can learn media, you can learn sports marketing, sports business. You can get a business degree sitting at home. You can get a business degree from YouTube. You can get a business degree from anywhere else. But one of the differences that I think going to school makes, and what really going off to college and going to school is about, is a networking, building your network, meeting new people, meeting people of different backgrounds, meeting people of different degree programs, in different schools, within the university, meeting people within different majors and focuses, and really taking a little bit from here, taking a little bit from there, volunteering for different programs. Full Sail University was really, really huge on volunteering and getting us out into the community, which is something that I loved. I loved helping others. And I wasn't new to the process of business. I wasn't new to the process of marketing. I already had an established brand because I was sitting at home. I didn't have nothing else to do. So I started my own business. I had already kind of established my brand and established my presence, online. It wasn't this huge presence or anything, but I had established myself for being an entrepreneur early on. But when I went to school, I tapped into that even more. And I think a lot of people don't use school and don't use college for what it's really meant for. And that's for networking, for building your network, for learning how to communicate effectively, for learning how to volunteer for different organizations, learning how to be a leader. All of that stuff isn't taught in the classroom. Self-awareness isn't taught in the classroom. Learning how to communicate effectively isn't taught in the classroom. At least personally, this is my personal opinions. Learning how to network and learning how to network effectively isn't taught in the classroom. These are things that you learn through social interaction, through engaging with other people, through volunteering for different programs or different events, through serving your community, through helping others. These are things that are taught outside of the classroom, and Full Sail really did a lot and helped me really hone into those skills and gave me a skill set, a soft skill set, in addition to the hard skill set that I was learning through earning my business degree in sports marketing and media, right? So fast forward, that was 2016. I started at Full Sail. I graduated, I was on a fast track. So I got a 4-year degree in 2 years. I graduated in 2018, on May 4th, 2018. And I was so uncertain about what I was going to do. I was like, okay, I got to start applying to jobs. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then I got my first job, literally, what, it was May, what, June. I got an internship a month later, was hired full time a month after that. And it's pretty much the rest is history. Um, So I say all of that, to kind of bring it all back in. I keep being washed out because the sun is setting on this side of my house, on this side of the office. The sun is setting. But I say all of that to say college isn't for everyone. But if you know how to use college effectively, it can be for anyone, right? You don't have to go to school. You don't need a degree to be successful, right? You don't need a degree to be successful. You can learn anything pretty much on Google by Googling it and putting in the hours, putting in the hard work, having the work ethic that supersedes other people's. But you don't need school to be great. You don't need school to be successful. Anybody that tells you that you have to go to college, you have to go to school. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to be a lawyer, I ain't gonna trust nobody that ain't got no JD and isn't passed the bar exam, right? To represent me in anything. So if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be even some engineers, you have to go to school. You got to get that degree to show that you know what you're talking about, that you know how to represent people in the courtroom, that you know how to operate on people in the ER, in the OR. But certain things you don't need a degree for, and school is not for everyone. And I would never force school down anyone's throat, right? But everything has to be done with intention. And my intent for going to school was to see what I could learn, but also see who I could meet, see who I could get to know me, right? Because it's not always about who you know, but it's about who knows you. And Full Sail did a really, really did really, really great and did well by me in that respect. They taught me to network, they taught me to open up, they taught me to be myself a little bit more and to appreciate who I was in a professional sense, and to really hone in on my brand, hone in on my business, and make it what it is today. You know, I'm 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 getting paid to do what I love. I'm getting paid to create social media graphics, to create marketing plans, to create strategies to help other businesses and other entrepreneurs succeed. I'm getting paid to host events, free events in the community. I mean, not getting paid really, but I'm getting value from hosting free events within the community. I'm getting value from starting my own foundation. Like, a lot of these things weren't taught to me in the classroom, but I learned them through communicating and networking and through creating those relationships with other people. So I think college is more so about building relationships than it is about learning a textbook. Anybody can read a textbook, anybody can go buy a textbook and read it and figure it out, right? But it really takes, it's really a craft and it's really a skill set to build those relationships with your classmates, with your peers, with your teachers and your professors. And that skill set of effective communication and effective relationship building is what's going to take you further than any degree, any piece of paper, any focus or major is going to take you. So that's my spiel. Is college good for everyone? No. Can it be used effectively by anyone? Yes. So before you decide to go to college, before you decide on, or if you are on the fence about going to college, if you're on the fence about if it's right for you, sit down and really become self-aware, right? Really think about the things that you're good at. What do you like to do? Can it be done by going and taking a course? Can it be done at a community college for 1 or 2 years? Do you have to go to a 4-year university, go away to establish who you are, to really hone in on your craft and to do the things that you love? If you don't, then cool. You can do it and sit at home. You can start your business from anywhere, right? You can start a business from anywhere. You can do a startup. You can sell a product, sell a service to anyone from anywhere. But you have to assess the risk and reward. Is going to school and the risk that you take with spending money or not spending money if you get scholarships and things of that nature, but is that a risk that you're willing to take for the reward that you're going to get in the future? Right. So you really have to weigh the pros and the cons. Personally, I think school is a great idea. It really helped me and it really changed my life for the better. Of course, I'm about to graduate from graduate school next year. I'm in a class right now. I have another class, but is it for you? Is it not for you? That's for you to determine. Don't let your parents, don't let your family, don't let your friends determine that for you. Make sure that you understand the pros and the cons for yourself. Make sure that you understand what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and let that determine whether college is right for you, or if it's something that you don't need. No, and it's never too late. And it can be right? It doesn't have to be either or. It can be and. You can start a business and, put college off for a few years until you figure out what it is that's right for you. You can go to a community college and get a general studies degree, associate's degree, until you really figure out what you want to really major in, right? There's so many different options, so many paths that you can take, but make sure that the path that you're taking is for you and it's not for anyone else's validation or to please anyone else's securities or insecurities, right? Make sure that you're going and doing what you want to do, what you need to do for yourself and not for anyone else. So that's my spill and my perspective. This is your girl Asia. Make sure you give a like, comment below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you found any value in this at all, make sure you share it with 1 to 3 of your friends or family members so that they can get the same value that you got. All right. Again, my name is Asia McMillan. This is The Perspective, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.